Good morning, boys and girls. Happy Wednesday. Thank you so much for uploading everything that you have been. Thank you for everyone who's joined in the Zooms, for everyone who's been on Method Maths, to everyone who's gotten in touch to let me know how they're getting on. That is just really helpful for me in being able to keep track of where everyone's at when I can't just peep over your shoulder like how I normally would. So today we're going to look back at our schedule. We're going to see what we have in store for us. Just before I move on, if you haven't done anything yet that you needed to from yesterday, please make sure that that's what you do first and just make your way and catching up to wherever point you're at after that. Otherwise, it might not make as much sense, particularly when in terms of literacy, what you're going to be doing is, if we look at our schedule, you're going to be going back to that Easter. Oh, why has it done that? 1 second. That's odd. 1 moment. There we go. You're going to be going back to your schedule. You're going to be looking at Wednesday now. You're still going to be looking at my Easter holiday retail, which is in your folder for literacy. And this time you're going to take either two different color highlighters or two different colored pens or pencil crayons. And I want you to pick one color that's going to be for main clauses and one color that's going to be for sub clauses. So if you retyped correctly the Easter holiday, you can do it on Word by underlining on the actual document you were working on, or highlighting through the computer way of doing it, which would be up here. You can choose a highlighter color if you're on Word. If you drew it out, then you're just going to carry on drawing on top of your corrected copy that you've rewritten. You'll use the highlighter on what you've already written to highlight the main clauses and the sub clauses. It won't work as easily like if you're using my messed up version. It'll be really hard for you to highlight because you might not be able to see the difference. A good signpost for where there are subclauses is what piece of punctuation. Whenever we see subclauses, there's a little piece of punctuation that helps signpost that one of those things is going to be a main clause and one is going to be a subclause. What is that? What is that piece of punctuation? It's a comma. So you can't really do it as easily without those signposts on my messed up version because there's very few things in the correct place. It'll be much easier to identify if you're reading a proper piece of writing where you can actually read a sentence out and see if you can make sense of what is the main clause and the subclause. Just like when we've done it in class, it's the sentence, the main clause is the sentence that can stand strong on its own. It doesn't need any other words or pieces to make it make sense. And the subordinate clause, the subclause, is the one that wouldn't make sense if it was standing on its own. It would need more. That's a good way of telling yourself or reminding yourself of which is which. And see how many main clauses and subclauses you can find. Anyone who's got them all, I might be reviewing and I'll be posting some of them back here on this Google Drive for other people to take a look at. So someone who's handed me in a really neat piece of writing that they've rewritten and highlighted some of the main clauses and subclauses. I'll ask your permission first, but you might be sharing your work with the rest of the class so that they can help, so that they can be helped to get on the right track too. So that's what I'd like you to do for literacy today. I'll get out of that. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. And then I'm meeting with the same groups as yesterday before, but you're going to meet with me with your pre-test, and we're going to be reviewing some of those probing questions and questions that you answered within your pre-test together. And the second thing I'd like you to do today in math is it's just for me to share with everyone else, because during our multiplication and division unit, I kept on banging on at everyone, like, you must practice your multiplication tables. And you saw how much doing your multiplication tables and knowing them really quickly helped with your division, actually more so than multiplication, because with division, you need to know what whole number can fit in its different factors. So I want to share, and since you're at home, I felt like it would be the perfect time. What are some of the ways that you practice your multiplication tables with your family and on your own when you're at home. And I'm going to be sharing some of those videos and putting them on Class Dojo for the class to see if they might want to mix it up and try one of their friends' ways of practicing. So any way that you might be doing it, if it's with a ball tossing, if it's with cards, if it's with different cues that your parents might do. Some people do it like red light, green light, and you take a step each time you get it right. There's tons of different ways that people have been practicing, and I wanted to share them with all of you so that you can mix it up so it's not boring, and each day you could do a little practice of it, because the more practice you do that at home, when we're studying new concepts, when there's lots of multiplication and division, and it's simple stuff, but you're still doing this to try and get there and counting up, and you're still having to really think about it, it takes time away from what you could be solving. So I'd like you to upload those videos on your portfolio, and I'll check them, ask if I can share them. If you don't want it to be shared, that's absolutely fine. But just so we can share with each other, and other parents can see what other people do, and it's just a fun way of showing what we do at home, just to do extra practice. If you haven't finished some of those review addition and math, addition and subtraction problems from Method Math from yesterday, by all means give that a go. And if you haven't had a look at the science yet, or if you have had a look but you need to look at it more, go back to that science folder, and we're going to be thinking about investigating melting. You might want to take today to tell mommy and daddy, oh, we need to go to the shop, I need to get a couple of things for my experiment, so that you're ready to do it, or you're ready to carry it out today. But yeah, I'd like you to go back and have a look at those to make sure that you're ready to do it or about to do it. So those are your 3 things to do: highlighting your main clauses and subclauses with that my Easter holiday text. If you want to write a response to me, and you have time to do that, by all means write a response, and I can respond to you, kind of like our reading letter, but it'll just be a sharing letter, if you have time for extra writing. And then you're going to be recording a video for how you practice multiplication tables at home. You're going to be finishing off any addition and subtraction problems you might not have done yesterday, and you're going to be either doing or getting ready for your investigating melting experiment, with the help of your parents, hopefully. And I'm meeting group 1 and group 2 on Zoom. So again, group 1, so that's Liani, Caleb, Ethan, and Geraldine. Group 2, Maya, Kennedy, Eva, and Rio. Log on today, and we're going to be doing a little math practice. If you need any extra help, as I said yesterday, please get in touch with me. It's much easier when you do that, for me to help you before too much time has gone past. So please get in touch with me. And just letting you know that I'm carrying on doing attendance. So please do check in with me. Let me know you're here by sending a little message in the morning, or an upload of some work you're doing. Okay, thank you very much, and speak to you soon.